I'm Sunil. I've been teaching in ICSE for last 25 years. So that is more than enough and a lot of time in corrections. So as you all are aware, the council has this year started a system where you have two SEMs. The first SEM for history was pretty nice, the exam. Now second SEM is going to start somewhere in March. So the portion, if you guys are aware, if you're not, I'll tell you. What you have is, see, in the first SEM, we had all the Indian history part, and civics, we had only one chapter. Now, the second SEM, the exams will have First World War, rise of dictatorship, Second World War, UN, major agencies of UN, NAM, the Union Executive, that includes President, Vice President, Prime Minister, and the Council of Ministers, and the judiciary, that includes both Supreme Court and the high courts and the subordinate courts. Okay. Now, what to be taught in this? Now, you all are aware of the reduced syllabus, right? And if you're not, I'll just share it. Give me a minute. Okay, till the time the technicalities come in, let's go back to the old thing. So I've told you what is there in second SEM. You have the Union Executive, the judiciary, and the contemporary world, that includes World War I till now. Okay, so now in history, the thing is that, the books, we don't have one single book from ICSE. Like in certain subjects, you have only one book. So different schools use different book. I prefer total. So, but the matter more or less the same thing. So if you come to World War I, now if you have the textbook, page number 108, I'm talking of total. Okay. And if you don't have, just note it down, what is there. Now, what you have in First World War, you have causes. Now, which causes? Nationalism and imperialism, division of Europe, and the Sarajevo crisis, and in results, the Treaty of Versailles. That's it. So rest all which is not there, I didn't read about it, that is not there. Now, what I do is, personally, when I start teaching, another problem with history is, the dates. Now, what I do is, whenever I teach, I give them the most important date in the textbook. Page 108, you have the syllabus given. And what I tell my kids, first thing is, what is not there. History is supposed to be a bit boring. Kids don't like it. One reason is, what I've seen is teachers tell them a lot of things which are not needed. You may have different view about it. But what I believe is, see, in exams, the council gives a specified portion. Stick to that. Don't try to give them too many things. Okay. So in this case, what I did is, when I started, I told them which date the war starts and when it ends. So they get an idea, the timeline. And I make them write in the textbook in the top of the chapter. Now, if I can, okay, so what I do with the chapter heading is there only. So nationalism, imperialism, what they have to know the meaning. Okay, so what does national mean? What is aggressive nationalism? With an example. Then imperialism. This was asked even last year, if you remember, in the exams. Then race for armament is not there. Now, division of Europe into two hostile groups. So they should know which two groups we are talking about. And I use a lot of abbreviations. So division of Europe into two hostile groups. I'm talking about Triple Entente and Triple Alliance. So the TA and TE. And in total, you have the map. Most of the history books have maps. So what I do is I make them mark the countries there. So if you're using total on page 109, find Great Britain, France, and Russia on the right side. So what I tell them is write TE there. So they know there's one group called as T. Now I tell them the other one is TA. That includes Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. And they know the meaning of the word hostile or rival. And the reason why they were rivals is because basically they didn't have colonies. They wanted to have more colonies. England, France didn't like Germany. So they will understand this and they can write. So why rivalries there for colonies, scramble. Then we come to immediate cause. The famous picture, all the books have that picture, Assassination of Crown Prince. Why was it done? Where was it done? And when was it done? And the impact that led to the war. Now, events are not there. It's there in ISC normally. We don't have it in ISC. Sorry, ICSE, we don't have the events. Okay. And then we come to the results. And results, only one is there, the Treaty of Versailles. And in this, what I do is I divide them into economic clauses, military clauses, because there was, I think 2 years back, there was a question which was pertaining to the military provisions of the treaty. The Rhine Valley was to be demilitarized, the army, navy was cut down, no submarine, no air force. So that I tell them. Now, territorial rearrangement is not there, nor do you have the formation of League of Nations. So this chapter gets over there. I hope I'm clear, everyone. Then we come to the next chapter, Rise of Dictatorship. Only one thing to be done in this. Now, this is pertaining to this examiner, please. The similarities between the ideologies of fascism and Nazism. That's it. Don't go in detail of anything. They should know Hitler, which country, which ism he belonged to, Mussolini, which country, what he will, I mean, the fascism, and the similarities. Both believed in total control, state is superior, hated democracy, one party, one rule, aggressive nationalism, imperialism, anti-nationalistic, sorry, anti-communist, anti-democratic. More than enough. Don't waste your time. Then we come to Second World War. Again, I made them write the date when the invasion of Poland and when the war ends, and the groups, the Axis powers and allies. And again, I use a lot of abbreviations. For Axis is JIG, Japan, Italy, Germany. You can make whatever you want. Allies, Britain, France, UK, sorry, Britain, France, USA, and USSR. Now, what is there in the syllabus? Causes. First, dissatisfaction with the Treaty of Versailles, rise of fascism and Nazism. Policy of appeasement is not there, so you can cancel that. Japanese invasion of China, failure of League of Nations, and Hitler's invasion of Poland. That is what your scope is. This is what you have to teach them in for this SEM. Okay. So causes, dissatisfaction with the Treaty of Versailles. And when you're doing World War I, tell them the treaty had the germs of Second World War. And let them know what happened to Germany. And what I tell them is, you know, suppose you're a German, this is what happens to you. Will you like it? Because the blame was only on Germany. So dissatisfaction, rise of fascism and Nazism. And when I'm teaching, I make them write the points. Now, when you're talking of fascism, first thing I tell them is which country, who's a leader, and what he did. Now, in this case, if you're using total page 127, it wanted to revive the glory of old Roman Empire. That is one. Joined anti-Compton Pact in 37. Second, formed an alliance with Germany, opposed the Treaty of Versailles, and captured Abyssinia or Ethiopia. So this is what they know then. And this becomes the cause of the war. And the next para is about Germany, Hitler. First point, wanted to reestablish the prestige of Germany, flouted the military clauses, declared rearmament, captured Austria and parts of Czechoslovakia. and the league did not do anything. It was unable to do. Policy of appeasement is not there. Then Japanese invasion of China. Now, this was also asked in exams, I think 3-4 years back. There's a question. So again, I divide this matter into points. And always when you make a question, see that the question is not open-ended. Because then they can write anything. And my logic is very simple. 4 marks, 4 points. Now this here is 2, 2, 3, 3. So not more than 3 points. So if you don't want them to write all the, in this, there's some 5-6 points in this, stick to what you want exactly them to answer. So framing of question is very important.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tuesday and avail your courses at affordable prices.
So let's come back to this invasion. Now again, it starts with that ambition, wanted to dominate Far East, that's one. Intervened in Manchuria, captured Manchuria. Undeclared war against China. The League of Nations did not do anything because Britain and France did not pay any attention. Joined Berlin-Rome axis to form the Berlin-Rome-Tokyo axis. In 1933, Japan left League of Nations and started occupying British and American properties. Till this time, all of them were using Japan to break down China so they could control it. But now when Japan started to capture their own areas, they did not like it. Then failure of League of Nations. Why did it fail? If you're done in the first term, there was a small para after League of Nations, why it failed. One reason was USA was not allowed to join. Then you had Germany and Russia were not allowed to join. But when we come towards this side, it was dominated by powerful countries like Britain and France. Nobody was interested in collective security. They were basically selfish. So whenever the matters were there, the League was defined because Britain, France, or other powerful nations were solving the issues. And they were not willing to apply economic sanctions because if you applied that, your country got affected with that. You could not have trade with other countries. Then Hitler's invasion of Poland. When? Date 1st September 39. The reasons? Want to regain the lost property. You go back to World War I and tell them that areas, if you see the map, they've shown the areas taken away from Germany, given to other countries. Then Danzig, which was given to Poland, had a lot of Germans staying there. So he wanted to reunite. And Poland was accused of atrocities against the Germans living there. And that was the cause which made him attack Poland, 1st September 39. And then this chapter comes to an end. Nothing else is there in this chapter. We come to UN. Now, the date, 24th October 45 and 24th October is a UN day. Causes you don't have, you have objectives. Now, they have set any 4 objectives. So in this, the functions also are 4, objectives also 4. No principles, headquarters are must, and including the pictures. Let it be the UN, the Security Council, the UN headquarters, the flag, That can be asked, and that has been asked before. No official languages, no finances, no membership, India original member, just that line. Then organs, all 6, but detail of 3. Okay. Assembly, UNGA, that is Security Council, ICJ, ECOSOC, Trusteeship Council, and the Secretary. Then the Assembly, so it's the main deliberative organ. The meaning that this is the body which discusses and recommends. And executive is the Security Council. Then the composition. All members of UN are part of it. They can send 5 representatives, but only 1 vote. Then they elect a president, 21 vice presidents, and chairman of the main committees. That is what is for composition. Then we come to the functions, powers and functions. Any 4. Even uniting for peace is a function. It's a power which the UN Assembly has. And that is connected with when any of the permanent powers, members of the UN, use a veto, a negative vote. The Security Council is unable to take any action. So in such time, the UN Assembly can take action. So we come to Security Council, executive body implements. It functions continuously. Always a member is present. Then the composition. Now, normally this question has been asked for 3 marks. So what we look for is 15 members, 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent. And I tell them to learn the name of the 5 countries because this has been asked before. No need to know the composition continent-wise. That how many come from Afro-Asian countries, Latin countries. That is not needed. In 10th grade, this is more than enough. Then the veto power. Tell them the veto power, only the permanent members have it. All of the countries don't have it, only the permanent members have it. Okay. Then functions, any 4. Then we come to the ICJ. Again, picture questions. Where is located? In The Hague. Now, if they ask the headquarters, when they write country's name, we don't give them marks. So be specific of headquarters. Ms. Sumana, only if you're using total textbook, it's on page 124, similarity between the ideology of fascism and Nazism, nothing else from that chapter. So composition again, 15 judges, 9-year term elected by the Assembly and Security Council, sitting independently. And the qualification, you should be the judge of the highest court in your own country. Then the functions, 4. And you know what I do is when these headings are given, I tell them to write the meaning. What does it mean? Like even in civics, if you remember, when we'll come to that. So in this, and please, when you frame the question, mention, name, list. They will not explain anything. They're not supposed to explain. A question, when you ask, describe, explain, then they will be putting the matter in detail. So advises whom? Only the UN organs and agencies, 16. Codification. Then Economic Social Council, Trusteeship Council, Secretary are not there. And do not ask any question on the various secretary generals. We're not having GK out here. Now, agencies. Now, for the syllabus, it says agencies of the UN, they've given only 3, UNESCO, UNICEF, and WHO, and 4 functions. This time is any 4 functions. So the picture, the logo, the full form, headquarters, and the functions, any 4 functions. Don't have to go in detail of all of it. There's no programs of UNESCO or UNICEF in India, just the functions. Then WHO, the logo, I do tell them when was it formed. 7th April is the World Health Day. Headquarters were again the functions. Then Miss Pyle, that becomes the qualification. That is, if you are to be elected to the ICJ, you should be the court, the judge of the highest court in India. I think right now there's some, I forgot his name, Bhandari. He is, and they don't represent the country. They are part of the UN. They don't represent Dalveer Bhatt. Yeah. They don't represent government of India. They are independent magistrates. Then UNESCO, the full form. United Nations Educational, Scientific and Culture Organization, the logo, and the functions. Okay. And India's association with UNESCO and all is not there. Ma'am, it's given in the book. If you see the functions, you have those headings, advisory, voluntary, all those things. Why should you do? I don't know. See, when I explain, I tell them, if I go, if you go for lunch or dinner, if it's a buffet, what I do is I start with what I like. Now the council has told us what the syllabus is, then why won't you guys want to do them? I mean, make them do the principles. And if you're teaching 8th grade, see that you do the 8th grade portion very nicely with them. That becomes the base for 10. Then ma'am, meaning I make them write, not to join any of the blocks, brief meaning, objectives, and name of the architect. These are 3 things you have to do. Brief meaning, objectives, and name of the architect. Only 3 names. And picture question can be asked. So no factors, causes for the alignment. No punch shield this time. Architect, Nehru of India, President Tito of Yugoslavia, and Nasser of Egypt. That's it. No need to do who came from Kenya, who came from Cyprus, who came from Myanmar, Indonesia, Ghana, Ethiopia. No need. They've said 3, stick to 3. And objectives, again, any 4. Any 4. And shield is not mentioned in the reduced syllabus. Then we come to civics, president and vice president. Now what you have? Qualifications for election, composition of the electoral college, reason for indirect elections, term of office, procedure for impeachment, powers. You don't have, I'm telling you what you don't have, okay? Financial, judicial is not there, military is not there, and diplomatic is not there. Vice president, qualifications, and term of office. No powers of the vice president. Now, when you're doing this chapter, first them where president is written, let them know is the head of the country, executive head. And in order to just, hammer this in their head, what I tell them, your passports, go and check. There's an appeal by the President of India. Now, qualifications, same as Lok Sabha, only the age changes. 25 to 35, rest all is same. Now, composition of electoral college. I make them write in simple English. Elected MPs and MLAs elect the President of India. And the system used is proportional representation by means of single transferable vote and secret ballot. This is what they're supposed to know. Nothing else. No formulas, what is the total population, how much MPs has, no need. And not even detail of all these, what is proportional representation and single transfer vote. Because if you start to teach that, you need 2 periods. And if any dispute regarding the election of president, Supreme Court directly, original jurisdiction. Then in reason for indirect elections, there's one more. To save time and money, you can write down. This we have taken in the board exams. And it's very simple to write. Not complicated, very simple. Now, oath of office, only who gives. No need of detail of the full oath. Office, term of office, tenure of 5 years. Impeachment, what reason? They have done that in the first term. The same thing comes back. And the reason for proven misbehavior or misconduct. For proven misbehavior, misconduct. This word is important. Now, powers of the president. Now, first thing it says executive. So I make them write in simple language what it means. That is, he has the power to appoint and give orders. Diplomatic is not there. Legislative, I make them write connected to lawmaking. And this chapter, most of the powers are there in the first chapter, Civics, Union Parliament. And again, I use a lot of abbreviation, for example, and plus the meaning of the word summon and prorogue. What does it mean? Summon is to call, prorogue is to end. And the 3 sessions, I tell them BMW. They'll never forget it. Everyone wants to own a BMW. So now the BMW stands for budget session, monsoon session, and winter session. So they know there are 3 sessions.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Duty and avail your courses at affordable prices.
When we come to financial powers, you don't have it now. Money matters, military powers are not there, judicial is not there. Come to discretionary. Again, I tell them the meaning on his own. Normally, he has to work on the advice of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. But in this case, he does not. Okay. Emergency powers, meaning, and the 3 emergencies, and on what reasons. Effects are not there. And no examples. Financial emergency, just the meaning. Now, Vice President, qualifications, same as President, except he should be qualified for the member of Council of States. Rest all are same. Elections, who elect? MPs elected. In case of president, that's a difference. This was also asked, I think, some 5 years back. I'm not sure, 5 or 6 years back. Was a difference in the election procedure of the president and vice president. In case of vice president, it is the MPs who elect him. In case of the president, only the elected MPs and MLAs vote. So that's a big difference. No powers and functions. Term of office 5 years. He can resign, and this letter should be communicated by the president to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, and he can be removed with the Raj Sabha passing a 2/3 majority resolution approved by the Lok Sabha. Then we come to the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. Now I can make them write it's real head. All the powers are with the Prime Minister. Now what you don't have, if you come to the syllabus, functions are not there. Policy making, administrative, legislative, financial, and emergency. So appointment, who does? So what is the Council of Ministers? The differences. There's a table given if you're using the books. Most of the books have it tabular form. If you're using total, on page 193, you have the features of the cabinet. First 3 are not there. Control of Parliament over executive is there, what they have done in the previous chapter. Under oath of office, no need to know the oath. Just who gives the oath is important. Powers and functions of cabinet are not there. And position of and powers of the Prime Minister. And this can be asked separately. It has been asked separately. And then collective and individual responsibility. Now, to make them understand, I give examples of games, cricket, football, etc. Because, somebody hits a century in a game of cricket, in a match. yet the team loses. So can you say, I did my best, it's your mistake? No, it's a collective game. You know, everyone is important. So in this case, they swim and sink together. If a vote of no confidence is passed with the Lok Sabha, the whole Council of Ministers has to resign. An individual is on their own. They acknowledge the mistake and they resign. In this, the whole Council of Ministers does not. Then we come to Supreme Court, the judiciary, the meaning, the apex court. Now what you have, composition, qualification of judges, appointment. And position of the Prime Minister is the same thing, powers and functions. In that only, that how his position, when you compare with the Prime Minister, the cabinet, how is more powerful. Because when he resigns, the whole cabinet is dissolved, the whole Council of Ministers is dissolved, because he is the person forming it. Now, composition, qualifications, appointment, you don't have independence of judiciary from the control of executive and legislature. So there's no need to do judiciary, need for single integrated judiciary. Supreme Court, composition. Now, it's 33 plus 1. And teachers see that you use an updated textbook, okay? It has been changed. Yeah, the paper, what they had sent, there were some errors in that paper, in the specimen paper. So it's one Chief Justice and not more than 33 other judges. Parliament decides the number. Qualifications are there. And if you're using total does not have this, age not more than 65. That is also a qualification. Appointment is there. Independence of judiciary is not there. Term of office is there. Impeachment is there. Powers and functions. What is original? The meaning, I make them right there. That is, cases go directly to the Supreme Court. And I normally tell them, you know, if you file a case, you go to the lower court. Now, if you've seen movies, in movies also, if, you know, that Jolly LLB was there, if you remember, that is a lower court, subordinate court. I tell them, from there, you file a case, then you go to High Court, then from High Court to Supreme Court. On what cases? Appellate, again the meaning, through appeals. No, you don't have to teach, Ms. Deepa. Appellate through appeal. So you lost a case or not happy with the judgment given by the High Court, you appeal to the Supreme Court. Then the cases again, advisory, again, the meaning, to give its opinion to the president, which is not binding on him. Then what is revisory? What is judicial review? Now, I use a lot of examples from the field of sports and games. Like cricket, you have the umpire review, the team asking for review. Okay, so that is where review comes in. Like, you know, they feel there's something wrong. Then judicial review, what does it mean? Then court of record, what does it mean? Now, these are the same as functions of the court, okay? So if you're using somewhere in some books, they have given the meaning one side and the functions, they're basically the same. What is original jurisdiction? What is appellate? Special leave to appeal? That is the same. The writs that they've done, one writ was done in Gandhi chapter, if you remember, Rowlatt Act, Black Act. So what does the writ mean and what does it imply? Now, in this case, like the meaning, Latin word to have the body, and what it does, it basically protects your personal freedom. If you've been arrested, the court can ask authorities to present that person in front of the court and the court will decide. Mandamus, reorder. So the court is telling the law authorities to do your work properly. Prohibiting, stopping the case. It does not have the power to deal with the case. Certiorari, to be informed what is going on. Like in a case, the Supreme Court and asked the lower court that we want to know what is going on in this case. So let us know. And quo warranto, by what order? Applies to the public offices. People can get appointed via the, you know, other means. Ad hoc just comes under that one line only, miss, nothing, no detail about it. Then enforcement of fundamental rights, the writs, administrative and supervisory functions are not there of Supreme Court. And the last chapter, High Court and the subordinate courts. What you have, I'm reading that first. In High Courts, composition, qualification, appointment. Only these three things. The rest all are cancelled. Then subordinate courts, only the distinction between the court of the district judge and session court. You know, I stick to what the council tells me, because there are a lot of teachers who say they should know everything. Let the council tell us, we'll teach only that much. There are two advantages. Your headache is less. Secondly, the kids have to learn less. They'll do better. Okay. So if you're using total, page 216, other textbook also have it in tabular form, just that, nothing else. And Lok Adalat, meaning advantages. So when you come to the High Court, who can create? Parliament can create. Number of High Courts. So that number will change, depends on the population. And the composition. One Chief Justice plus other judges. The number is not there in this case as compared to Supreme Court. Qualifications. Appointment. Now in this also use abbreviations. I tell them President plus Governor plus CJI appoint the Chief Justice of the High Court. And in case of other judges, President consulting the Governor plus the Chief Justice of India plus the Chief Justice of High Court appoint the other judges of High Court. Then nothing else. Yes, there's a table. I make them mark a few high courts which have jurisdiction over more than one state. Like Mumbai, Goa and Maharashtra, Delhi. Normally union territories do not have a high court of its own. So in this case, Delhi, because it's a UT, yet it has its own high court. Then Guwahati High Court looks after the Northeast, Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal. Then Jammu and Kashmir. Then Punjab and Haryana High Court, because it looks after Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Then you come directly to the differences between the Court of District Judge and Session Court. The tabular form is given, more than enough. And do tell them the meaning of the word criminal and civil. Like, you know, what does civil mean? So any cases with regards to marriage, property, money comes in, marriage, divorce, wills that become part of this. Pickpocketing, murder, theft, dacoity comes under Session Court. Then Lok Adalat. No, ma'am, they don't. Lok Adalat, just the meaning. People's Court, that's it. Nothing else is needed. And then the advantages. That's it. This marks the end of this thing. Nothing else is there in this chapter. And remember, these chapters are merged. Supreme Court, High Court is merged. President, Vice President is merged, along with Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. And there's no blueprint. You know, I'm there in some of the groups. So teachers are asking blueprint. The council does not give any blueprint. And you know, few years back, there was a question, not a single question was asked on revolt and Gandhi. Normally, when you talk of freedom struggle of India, Gandhi is very important, and so is the revolt of 1857. Oath is given by the governors, but appointment is done by the president. You have any questions? Because we have only, we were told 40 minutes actually, so I don't know. And I've stuck to only the syllabus, nothing else I've spoken about. If you have some queries, please ask, or you can put in the chat box. Yes, Rich, you have to teach them.
Yeah, sir, regarding the book, sample books have been sent to the schools. So they can ask the school library or principal desk or maybe reception. The books have reached schools.
Yes, even my school you have received, so thank you very much.
Also, I'm sharing a link where the sample ebook is available.
Yes, you can put it up so they can copy it down.
Sample link is available, book is available here. You can use the link to access. I will just quickly show how to access the book.
Panchil is not there. We don't have, see, teachers, I'll tell you one thing, we always blame the kids for not reading properly. Now, off late, I've become old. Old means I've been teaching for last 25 years plus now. So I'll tell the teachers, you guys are not reading what the council sends you, the syllabus. And 24 syllabus has already come out. I hope you people are aware.
This is the book which is available. I've shared the link. We have question bank here. Then specimen question paper solved, which is issued by the council. Model test paper.
And when it comes to making these books, a lot of teachers are involved with a lot of, they're there in the council corrections. And somebody asking me, see, this always is there. They may ask you some extra questions. How many of you people have gone for the council corrections? How many are there? Just can you put your hands up? I could see one. Ripa Khera. I don't know. Now, if I take corrections, I'm there for last 17, 18 years. Okay.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Now, subscribe to Bright Duty course at ₹1 per day only. Download Bright Duty app from Play Store and get the online courses prepared by competent and experienced teachers for different education boards of classes 6 to 10. Bright Duty courses are available for the subjects of Math, Science, Social Science, English and Hindi in English and Hindi medium. Bright Duty follows 3-step approach, that is learning, assessment and exam preparation. In learning, topic-wise video lectures with explanation of concepts and discussion of textbook examples and questions are available with the solutions. In assessment, topic-wise online MCQ test, practice assignments and chapter-wise question bank are available with the solutions. In exam preparation, previous year's question papers, sample papers and model test papers are available with the solutions. Sign up today on Bright Tuesday and avail your courses at affordable prices.